Okay, so good morning, everyone. Welcome to this eCare webinar. My name is Elena Lopez, and I will be moderating today's session. Hope that the audio is working and that you can hear me well. And first of all, thank you for your interest in the project, as we have more than 70 participants registered for today. So really thank you. Okay, so before we start, a few housekeeping rules. As you may know already, this session will be entirely recorded and published on the eCare channels. All participants except speakers and moderator will be muted, so that's why you cannot open your mic. Also, when the time for questions come, feel free to pose your question in the Zoom questions and answers box. Also, we will leave all the questions for the end. So wait a bit, because some of your questions might come up during the presentation. And finally, if you would like to add something, please raise your hand, and we will open your mic so that you can discuss and ask your questions out loud. Okay. So, as you know, the objectives for today are to explain the latest project changes and to inform potential tenders about the new schedule for the calls for tenders, which was delayed earlier this year. So the agenda is as follows. I'm gonna introduce briefly the summary of changes of the project. Then we will have some time to get to know our new procurer, the Aachen University Hospital in Germany. Then we will leave the floor to Silo, who is the new coordinator, and will introduce themselves as well. And finally, and probably most importantly for you all, we will have the lead procurer to explain the tender process and the PCP phases, including the updated schedule. And finally, there will be time for questions. I think we will have plenty of time to go through your questions, but if we don't, do not worry, because we're going to collect them and publish them on the website. And so you will be able to see the answer in our website. Okay. So before we start, I kindly ask the presenters to introduce themselves from left to right. Please, Volker, can you introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Falkiewicz. I'm manager of the Innovation Center of Digital Medicine of the University Hospital Aachen.
Thank you. Then I'm not sure we have Laura or Raquel from Silo on the call.
I'm here, Elena. Apologies
Hi,
for
Laura.
the small delay. Hello, good morning to everyone, and thank you for having attended to our webinar, where we will update you about the latest changes in the project, as Elena has said. As for myself, my name is Laura Sanchez, and I will be the new project coordinator overtaking the role of Silo. I am at the public sector department at Silo, and my professional background is civil engineer. I hold, besides that, more than 11 years of experience in the field of innovation, research and development project management. And also I have an extensive experience in international projects in the areas of public procurement of innovation in health, and I've been coordinating several FP7 and H2020 projects precisely in the area of pre-commercial procurement. So that's me, and I will leave the floor to the next speaker, Vincenzo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura. Good morning. I'm Vincenzo De Luca. I'm a researcher at the Department of Public Health of Federico II University. And we are supporting Benevento Local Health Agency in the implementation of eCare pre-commercial procurement project. So I am here as a collaborator of ASL Benevento on technical and research topics.
Thanks so much, Vincenzo. So finally me. I'm Elena Lopez. I'm a project manager at TIC Biomed. TIC Biomed is a business association that promotes digital transformation in healthcare. We are based in Spain. And in eCare, we oversee the communication, dissemination, and exploitation activities. And that's why we are here today. So thank you all the presenters. I'm gonna now give an overview of those changes in case you are not aware of all of them. So first of all, the procurer Falkiewicz Specialist Hospital in Wrocław, who, if you remember, participated in the open market consultation activities, has left the project due to internal changes that they had in the organization due to the challenges that the pandemic posed to the hospital. So now we are happy to welcome on board Aachen University Hospital, a public procurer in Germany that will participate in the project from now on. Then, as we said already, we have a new coordinator, Silo, who will overtake Jager's responsibilities coordinating this PCP project. And finally, we are glad to announce that the call for tenders that was delayed earlier this year is planned for this summer. If everything goes well, these are the plans of the consortium. It still needs approval by the European Commission, who will review the tender documents in the coming weeks. So our plan is to launch the call for tenders this summer. Just a reminder, although I believe that most of you already participated and are very aware of the eCare project, we are looking to deliver disruptive digital solutions for the prevention and comprehensive management of frailty, to encourage independent living, well-being, and to relieve health and care services budget pressure. So for that, we are a consortium of 8 partners. We are 4 procurers and 4 supporting organizations assisting the procurers and to this end. And the project will end in June 2024, and we have 3.92 million euros for procurement. For procurers, as you know, are Aachen University Hospital in Germany, then Hacienda Sanitaria Locale Benevento in Italy. They are the lead procurers. And in Spain, we have Consorci Sanitario Integral and Santander City Council. And together they gather 1.5 million people in their service area. Finally, as for the supporting organizations, we have Silo. As coordinator, we have Jagger, who will provide the e-tendering platform that you will use to submit proposal during the call for tenders. We have TIC Biomed overseeing the communication, dissemination, and exploitation activities. And we have Santa Casa da Misericordia da Amadora in Portugal, who has supported the procurers in the needs identification process. So I think that's a good overview. And I will leave the floor now to Volker to introduce a little more Aachen University Hospital.
Okay, thank you, Elena. Okay, yes, thank you. The University Hospital Aachen is a supramaximal care provider, and we combine patient-oriented medicine and care, teaching, research at an international level. And we do this all under one roof, and we are the largest building of university hospitals, I think, in Europe. In this building, there are 34 specialist clinics, 25 institutes, and 5 interdisciplinary units. We treat patients in 1,400 beds, and 6,000 employees are responsible for the treatment of 50,000 inpatient and 200,000 outpatient cases per year. We have more than 5 years experience in different projects, clinic sectors, and treatment and care of older adults. We see the necessary to take care to the digital medicine, and for this we founded the Center of Digital Medicine in the year 2019. We have there a lot of experience in carrying televisits, for example. During the pandemics, we make televisits to other hospitals, to intensive care units, to give them some hints and a suggestion how to treat the patients and how to can care to this in time of the pandemic. Next. What is the motivation we join the eCare PCP project? First, of course, it's a experience we made in telemedicine. We see the urgent of telemedicine activities in not just in intensive care units, but in several sectors too. We have a polymedical expertise, increasing demand on treating, prognostic, prevention, treatment possibilities, especially for older adults. We see the demographic development and this challenge of the demographic change require timely action to avoid the collapse of the healthcare systems, especially for the older people and in not in cities but in the landscape. And increasing quality demands on healthcare, it's a chance for earlier treatment, a critical fragile patient, and to help them to take care of them to be healthy and fine. I do not know if this is a final slide from me, from our side, or if Elena wants to say something. The requirements includes in the call of tenders contain the needs of the 4 procurers, including University Hospital Aachen, and we will participate in the evaluation of offers in each of the PCP phases. In phase 3, we will carry out the procurer's permission, including us, and the solution must be available in the procurer's local language. For example, for us, it's including German. Thanks. And
thank you very much, Volker. So now I leave the floor to Laura to introduce Silo.
Hey, Elena, thank you very much. I've already introduced myself, so I will now try to explain you who is Silo and why are we interested in this project, why are we overtaking the role as coordinator. Silo is a management consultancy firm. We are based in Madrid, where we have our headquarters office. We work on innovation policy and business development with a clear focus on public and private collaboration. We support our public administration across Spain, but also in South America in their implementation of innovation policies. And we have extensive expertise in the design and evaluation of tailored solutions for innovation agencies and agents. We have our core services split in several sectors: research, funding, public sector, as well as digital and ventures. And particularly in the research and public sector, we have a significant track record in advisory on innovation procurement, where we help national and international clients in the challenges of public procurement of innovation solutions. For this project, we will advise and assist the public procurers in the implementation of the PPI call for tender and the management of the contract. And Silo is interested in joining this consortium because for us it is an excellent opportunity to strengthen our leadership position in public procurement of innovation, in pre-commercial procurement specifically, by entering into the group of entities capable of coordinating the CPI's projects with funding from the European funding program. So it's a great chance to widen our capabilities and to explore the European market, and besides to share our knowledge with the group of procurers and support, giving continuity to the services that we are currently providing for the Spanish companies. And that's basically our expectations, our role, and why are we overtaking the coordination responsibility. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Laura. So just building on what Laura said, as you know, if you are thinking of submitting an offer to the call for tenders, this doesn't have a direct impact for you, but just in case that you see that Silo is part of the project, so that you know that they are the coordinators and they are supporting the procurers on that. Okay, so thank you, Laura. I leave the floor now to Vincenzo, who will present the tender process and the updated schedule.
Thank you, Elena. Please, next slide. As you well know, eCare is a pre-commercial procurement, and it involved the phase 1, 2, 3 of this slide, because the pre-commercial procurement is an innovative form of procurement in which public authority procures research and development services for the implementation of a new solution, IT supported solution, that are not ready on the market. The fourth phase is the public procurement for innovative solution, and it is something that is out of our project and is the next phase of the eCare project, probably, and it concerns the procurement of some solutions that are ready to market but not on large scale. So they are ready to market but not fully deployed. The eCare pre-commercial procurement, as I said, is articulated in 3 phases. The first phase is the solution design, and it will last 6 months. If you go to the next slide, it will be clearer. Actually, we are discussing with the European Commission for the definitive date for the launch of the call for tender for the pre-commercial procurement. Probably it will be in at the end of July or at the beginning of August, and at the beginning of August, and then the call for when we will launch the call for tenders, the suppliers can start to present their proposals. So please keep follow our channels to be updated about the call for tender. The next slide, please. Okay, during the phase 1, the supplier will be asked to provide the concept design of the solution, the description of the general architecture and the technical specification of the product they will provide. During this phase, a maximum of 8 suppliers will be selected and founded, and a minimum of 3. They, as I said, they will develop a detailed specification of the proposed solution, and this description will be provided as a report in which they will describe the technical specification of the solution and the commercialization plan in order to be, this phase will last 6 months, and the overall budget for this phase is 392,000 euro, but this overall budget will be divided among the suppliers. So the maximum amounts per contract will be 49,000 euro. The offers will be evaluated on the basis of the quality ratio. So we will take in consideration both the quality of the proposal, but also the cost of the solution in the commercialization plan. The next slide, please. During the phase 2, only 4 suppliers that have been previously selected for the phase 1 will be funded, and a minimum of 3 of them will be selected. During this phase, they will develop most promising ideas. Will be developed a prototype, and this part is articulated in two parts, because in the first part they will provide the prototype specification, but at the same time they should demonstrate how the solution, how the prototype will work. So the professional of the procurers will directly have an experience with the prototype in order to assess the functionalities and the technical specification. This phase will last 10 months, and the total budget for this phase is 1,960,000 euro, and the maximum amount per contract is 490,000 euro per contract. The approach is the quality price ratio. The next slide, please. During the phase 3, the last phase of the pre-commercial procurement, only 2 suppliers will be funded in order to implement the prototype in the real settings. So they will install the solutions in the healthcare settings of the procurer, and the solution will be tested by the professionals and also the patients. So in this phase, the 2 solutions should be fully functioning in order to provide services to the patient, and the test will be implemented in the same time in all the testing sites. So in all the procurement settings, and it will not at the end of this phase will not be a final winner, but it is only to test the solution and to understand what can be the best solution addressing the topic of the project that I remember is frailty and management of frailty. This phase, the last phase, will last 12 months, and the maximum budget, the total budget for this phase is 1,568,000 euro, and the maximum budget per contract is 784,000 euro. The next slide, please. The tendering process. So the tendering process will start with the launch of the call for tender. This call for tender will be published, and including the link to the electronic platform in which will be the application form, and all the documents of all the application will be online, so without any paper submission, and all the documents will be signed electronically. There are three parts of the technical proposal of the proposal. The first one is the administrative part, in which the supplier should provide the information about the company, the legal representative, and other the VAT code, and etc. So some administrative information. In the technical part, they should provide the technical specification of the solution, and in the financial part they should provide also a proposal of how they would like to commercialize the solution, and based on this information, the proposal will be evaluated by the procurers. From the launch of the call for tenders to the deadline, the suppliers have 2 months to apply and to present the proposal, and the official language for the submission of the proposal is English. The next slide, please. What are the eligibility criteria for the suppliers? This call for tender is open to all the typology, the type of organization and operators. So it is not they should be legal entities that are they should be only legal entities. The proposal can be submitted by a single entity or a joint consortium. The tender entities may not participate in more than one tender, and there is a limit for the subcontracting of the 30%. So only the 30% of the contract can be subcontracted to another organization or another company, and consultation is the participation to the open market consultation is not a condition, an eligibility condition for participate to the call for tenders. So this means that if you not attend to the open market consultation, you are also free to participate to the call for tenders and are full eligible to be funded. The next slide, please. The exclusion criteria are, first of all, the conflict of interest of the companies that can be, for example, a direct link to the procurer organizations and or the solutions that they proposed are ready and available on the market. So in this case, it is the call for tenders, the pre-commercial procurement doesn't allow to purchase solutions that are ready to market. We are looking for research and development services. So this is what we will select. The selection criteria is the economic capacity of the suppliers, the technical capacity, the ability also to commercially exploit the results of the call for tenders. I would say that this kind of procurement, this kind of project are dedicated, are the most advantage of this kind of project is for the suppliers, because the intellectual property of the results of this project can be exploited by the suppliers for commercial reasons. So they can participate in this project to finance their research and development activities, and they have the opportunity to test this solution in the real setting. So I suggest to the suppliers to apply, because this can be a good opportunity to test their solution, but also to provide new research and development services for new solutions that are more close and more respondent to the real unmet needs of the procurers. The compliance criteria are ethics requirements and the definition of research and development services, and the award criteria, as I said, are the quality price ratio, and will put a focus on quality, in particular on functional and technical specification. The next slide, please. The selected suppliers will sign a framework agreement with in each phase in which they participate. So at the end of the evaluation process, the selected suppliers will be contacted to sign the contract and will be funded. So the financing and receive the resource from the project to provide further research and development services and access to the next phase. The monitoring services will be the monitoring will be provided by the procurers during all the three phases, and also they should provide report in each phase in order to have a concrete data to monitor the progress of the research and development activities. This report should contain milestones and deliverables, and the implementation of this milestone and deliverable is a condition to receive the payments. So during each phase, the suppliers should demonstrate that they are working on research and development activities, and should give evidence of their work in these reports. The next slide, please. So my suggestion for the participation in eCare pre-commercial procurement is the creation of a competitive consortium, because the solution that we are asking for is something that is integrated. So we have different aspects of safety that we are addressing, and this needs different solutions integrated each other in order to cover all the requirements of the call for tender. So I suggest to the suppliers to create the competitive consortium, but at the same time, and if you need an help to find the right partner for the implementation of the project, of the proposal, you can visit our website, in which we have a matchmaking session, a matchmaking tool, and you can apply for this in order to find the right partner for the proposal implementation, and to participate in this project. The next slide, please. The contact detail are our website, that is eCare pcp.eu, and if you have questions, or if you need an help to better understand the process, you can write an email in the address that you can find in this slide. The next slide, please. If you have any question, you can write down in the chat, and I think that Elena will collect this question, and then we will try to answer to your doubt and to your request.
Thanks so much, Vincenzo. So we have reached the last part of the webinar. So we have about 20 minutes to answer some questions. I see that in the questions box, there are already some. So I'm gonna read them out loud and ask my colleagues in eCare to provide answers accordingly, okay? So the first question is, do you have any information that e-sign for submission process is applicable for non-European countries, for example, Turkish entities? I think these questions can be addressed by my colleague Javier Jagger. So
yes, hello.
Thank you, Javier. Please go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Javier. I'm the partner from Jagger that we are going to provide the platform, as my colleague explained. Yeah, in this case, it's important to note that the e-signature process is not actually done through the platform. There are some documents that the platform will validate that they have been signed electronically, but the process of signing itself is done outside of the platform. So you should sign your documents electronically, the normal way that you do it with your offset programs or the programs or applications that you normally use, and only once they are signed to upload them in the platform. The platform will validate that they have been signed electronically, but any usual normal work in electronic signature should be acceptable. There's no limitation or specification. In any case, in the manuals that will be provided, you will have all the information regarding this. And if you have any problem with your signature, you can always contact support. It is important to underline that you will not sign the documents in the platform. the documents will have to be signed with a different with your own application for e-signature.
Thanks so much, Javier. So if you think we have solved your questions, please let us know. And if not, please continue asking and we will try to solve it, okay? So moving on to the next questions, phase 3 is for a total duration of 12 months for 4 procurers. Would this mean 3 months of piloting at each site, or this would be an implementation in parallel at each pilot site? 4 sites accessing at the same time to the pilot during 12 months? I think that's a question that can be addressed by Vincenzo. Not sure.
Yes, sorry. The third phase will last 12 months, and during this period, the supplier should provide the solutions for all the 12 months in each pilot site. This means that the solution that they will provide should be available in the 4 pilot site for 12 months. I don't know if it is clear.
Thank you, Vincenzo. So please, if you think we didn't reply to your question, continue asking and we will reply accordingly. Okay, so the following question is, it is necessary to include in a consortium from the beginning the possible partners in the local regions for the assistance during the final implementation, or can this be engaged during the other phases? Here, I believe that Laura from Silo can provide an answer.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Iñaki, for your question. The answer is quite straight. There is the chance to modify the consortium composition in the subsequent phases. So the door is open to include different organizations in the joint tenderer in each phase of the call for tender. Okay.
Thank you, Laura. Okay, so the next question, and I think I can get that, is where the call for tenders templates will be available. Everything will be available in the eCare website. There will be a specific section on call for tenders where you will see all the documents of the call for tenders, including the templates you will need to use. And this will link to the e-tendering platform where you need to upload all the documents. The next question is, I have a question regarding the procurer's involvement. Would they be able to generate, validate clinical content? I believe this question is under discussion because we receive it by email as well. So as you know, we have different profiles in the consortium. We have hospitals, but we also have social care providers. So we will collect this question, Christine, and jointly discuss a clear answer that will be published on the website as well. So thanks for your questions. It will be there shortly.
Elena, if I can add something, as
Sure.
The solution in the requirements that we are working on, there are some clinical parameters that can be collected by the solution. So the pilot is not specifically dedicated for the validation of the clinical content of the solution, but the pre-commercial procurement is something that is open to all kind of innovation. So if you have or if you are the suppliers is propose something that is not available and is not ready on the market, can be a part of the proposal and can be evaluated by the procurers. If these aspects, this proposal pose some problems about validation, it can be addressed in the future, because I don't know if we are able in 12 months to validate clinical content. This is, I don't know if it is clear or not, but the nature of the pre-commercial procurement is that the supplier can offer something that is innovative. So we are looking for disruptive innovation, and what we are looking for is this. So if your solution needs to generate or validate the clinical content, this can apply for our call for tender.
Okay, thanks so much, Vincenzo. Moving on to the next question, I think that the question about the participation on non-European entities has not been addressed. Is it always true that some work can be done outside the European Union, provided this does not exceed a certain percentage? Yes, as you know, there is a requirement that 50%, at least 50% of the research and development service under the contract have to be performed in member states or in Horizon 2020 associated countries. This means that if you are not a member state or you are not an associated country, as for instance Turkey is, you would be able to participate, but as long as you conduct 50% of the research and development services in Europe. That's the requirement. But anyway, if these organizations from non-member states or non-associated countries participate in a consortium with other organizations that are member states or associated countries, it should be fine. The requirement is the 50%. This will be stated in the call for tender so that it is clear for anyone. And I hope that it is a bit clearer now. As you know, you can check, there is a list of Horizon 2020 associated countries. In case you are in a country that is not a member of the European Union, but it might be an associated country in the Horizon 2020 program. Then we have the last question so far, which is, when will the pre-commercial consultation be launched? So we conducted an open market consultation in November and December, no, from October to December, sorry, in 2020. So now we were finalizing the tender document and addressing the different changes that happened in the project. So as Vincenzo said, the call for tenders will be published in July. That's our tentative date, which still needs approval by the European Commission, who is not part of the procurement, but needs to agree on the launch of the procurement as they are co-funding this project. We have another question, which is, previously, we already discussed the importance of integration and interoperability with the local electronic systems from the procurers for the success of this type of solutions. Would this be included in the scope? Would there be a definition of all systems, standards, or interfaces required in the scope of the call for tender? Okay, I think here both Laura and Vincenzo can provide an answer. So whoever of you that would like to reply.
If it is me, I would like to anticipate you that some of the characteristics and the systems of the procurers will be anticipated in the call for tender. But besides that, as part of the different phases, phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3, you will have the opportunity to visit the sites of the procurers to gather as much as information as possible you would need to configure your final proposal for the subsequent phases. So we will anticipate details, but you can also have the chance as part of phase 1 to visit and collect other information that you might need to prepare the feasibility study, the prototype, and the field testing. And if you want to complement my information, Vincenzo, you are free to do it.
Yes, we are looking for an integrated solution. So integration with the pilot site system is important for our solution in order also to provide during the phase 3 the pilot. So, but we are looking for solutions that are interoperable and available on international standards. So you can visit if you need, you can visit our pilot site, but at the same time, during the call for tenders, we will provide the general information about the system that are in use in the pilot site, and you can have an idea of what we are using, what is the state of art in our hospitals or in our healthcare facilities. I think that this aspect is not important in the first phase, but in the following phase is important. And during this phase, you can, as Laura said, you can visit or you can ask us directly more in-depth information to understand how to integrate your solution in our IT system or to adapt the solution to our IT system.
Thank you, Vincenzo and Laura. So the next question is, do you plan to launch a PPI after the PCP? So theoretically, yes, the procurers are open to launch a PPI if the results of the PCP are satisfactory. And I think that with that, this question is answered, unless my colleagues would like to complement.
Yes, I would also add that the launch of a PPI eventually does not mean that the provider or the suppliers that will be selected in the future PPI are the same that we are selecting in the PCP. So the PPI, as the European Commission consider, is something that is separated from the PCP and open to the entire market and not only to the PCP participants. So I don't know if we in the future will apply for a PPI, but if a PPI will be launched by our consortium, it does not mean that the participants to the PPI are the same of the PCP. So it will be open to the entire market, the PPI.
Thank you, Vincenzo. So the last question is, can you please list again the countries and the languages where the solution will be tested? So it will be on the procurer's countries. We have Spain, Germany, and Italy. Also have in mind that in Spain, we have Consorci Sanitari Integral, which is based in Barcelona, and therefore the solution has to be available also in Catalan. So those are the 4 languages and the 3 countries. So I don't see more questions. I think we can close the session now. Thanks to all presenters and thanks to all the participants. And I think that the webinar was quite dynamic and interesting. Thanks for staying with us until the end, because I see most of you are still here. And as you know, check the website. There are already some questions from the open market consultation that are published there and answer in case you have more questions. And also you can contact us by email and we will try to solve any question or concern that you might have. So thanks so much. Stay in touch and get ready for the call for tenders.